Hello students, today we will be doing this chapter, Taro's Reward. It's a Japanese folk tale, that is folk story, that's the local story, regional story of Japan. It's about a son and how he works hard. So let's start reading it. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. In a hilly area. He was living with his parents. So what he did is, all day long he chopped wood in the forest. Chopped is to cut wood into small pieces. That is called chopped. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. So how did he earn money? By cutting wood, selling them and earning money. But the money he was earning was very less. As you can see, these are the Japanese parents and Taro. Moving to the next page. This made him sad, for he was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parents everything they needed. So the amount of money he earned was very less, and he wanted to give his parents a comfortable life. So he was feeling very sad that he cannot do much for his parents. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of the hut is a temporary shelter, not a pakka house but a kacha house. A strong wind began to blow. It whistled, and when wind blows fast, it makes a whistling sound through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, "I wish I had a cup of Fake." See, it is written as Sake, but it is pronounced as Fake. It's an energy drink, local Japanese drink, which gives you energy and warmth. It would warm me and do my old heart good. So, it was very cold, and old people, they feel more cold than young ones. So his father said, "I wish I could have a cup of Fake." This made Taro sadder than ever, and Taro became more sad. Why? Because he could not afford this Fake, which was very expensive, very costly. Called Fake was very expensive, costly. How do I earn money? He asked himself. So he's feeling very sad that I cannot even buy Fake, the energy drink, for my old father. How do I get a little Fake for my old father? He decided to work harder than before. So what he decides, he's a thoughtful son. He thinks about his parents. So he decides that I'll work more hard now and earn more money and give a comfortable life to my parents. Next morning, Taro jumped out of his bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. So he has decided that he'll work very hard. So he gets up early in the morning and goes to the forest to chop woods. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed. That means from morning it is moving towards afternoon. And soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. Jacket is a outer cloth. That is called a jacket. His mouth was dry. His mouth obviously was dry because he's been working hard since morning, and it is very hot, and his face was wet with sweat, and he was sweating a lot. And still he is working hard because he wants to cut more wood, sell more wood, earn more money. If only he was as warm as I. And he's thinking that I am feeling so warm. I wish my father also was as warm as I am. And what was his father asking? He was asking just for a cup of Fake. And with that he began to chop even faster, thinking of the extra money. He must earn to buy the Fake to warm the old man's bones. So now what he does is, he starts cutting more faster, because his aim is to earn more money so that he can buy Fake for his father and give them a comfortable life. Then suddenly Taro stopped chopping. Why did he stop chopping? What was the sound he heard? Could it could it possibly be rushing water? And suddenly he hears the sound of rushing water. That means sound of a river. When river moves, it makes a certain sound. Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest, because he had come to this forest so often, so many times, but he had never heard of a stream in that part of the forest. But he was thirsty. He was thirsty. The axe dropped out of his hand. Axes with which you cut trees dropped out of his hands, and he ran in the direction of the sound. And so his mouth is dry, he's feeling warm, and hearing the sound of a stream, he wants to drink water. And so he moves towards the sound, where the sound is coming from. So I have already done this chapter online. I would request all of you, maximum, as far as possible, try to join online classes. It will help you. And what did he see? Taro saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. Water, when it falls from a height, that is called waterfall. Kneeling, that is bending on his knees. Kneeling means bending on your knees. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped his between in your palms. When you drink water, when you don't have a cup or a glass, what you do is you normally use your hands as cup and drink water. And when he put the water to his lips, when he started drinking, was it water or was it sake? Because when he drank it, he tasted it again and again, and always it was the delicious sake, instead of cold water. And to his surprise, the river was flowing with sake, the warm, the expensive drink. He could not believe his eyes. Taro quickly filled the pitcher. Pitcher is a pot made of mud which is used to carry water like ghada. Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. And he was happy that he was working hard to buy that expensive sake, but here the whole river is full of sake. The old man was delighted with sake. And the old man, that is his father, after drinking it, was very happy. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering, and the drink is so energetic that after one sip or one drink, he stopped shivering. Shivering is trembling, when you tremble with cold, and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. And he was very happy that he started dancing in the middle of the floor. That afternoon, a neighbor stopped by for a visit. They had a neighbor coming to their house. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the sake. Since Taro had bought a whole pitcher, so they gave a cup to this neighbor lady. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. And since sake is a very expensive drink, so she was very thankful to have that drink. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. And then he said that I was in the forest cutting wood when I saw this river. I heard the sound of this river. I went and I drank, and what I found is sake. Thanking them for their delicious drink, she left in a hurry. By the nightfall, she had spread the story throughout the whole village. See, this woman had come to their house in the afternoon, and by the night she had spread the news that Taro has found the energy drink, warmth giving drink. There's a stream, there's a river in the forest, and it is full of sake flowing in it. That evening there was a long procession of visitors to the woodcutter's house. Procession here is crowd of visitors. So a lot of people, after hearing the story, they came to Taro's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the sake, and everyone was given a sip. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. Obviously, when everybody was drinking this sake, the pitcher was empty. So next morning, Taro started for work even earlier than the morning before. He woke up early because, he wanted to get sake for his parents. He carried him the largest pitcher he owned, for he intended first of all to go to the waterfall, and today he was carrying a bigger pitcher. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise all neighbors there. And since everybody knew yesterday that there's a stream which is full of fake, so every villager was there. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic fake. All of them have come to collect fake because it's an expensive drink and now they are getting it free of cost. Then one villager knelt, that is bending on his knees, and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. He drank again and then shouted angrily, "Water, nothing but water." Others also tried, but there was no fake, only cold water. So what is happening here, children, is that when Taro drank out of the stream, it was fake. But all these villagers who are greedy, when they drank, they found just water, that's normal water, cold water. So now they started complaining. As you can see, there are people carrying big pitchers. All of them wanted to collect fake. "We have been tricked," shouted the villagers. So the villagers now started complaining. "We have been cheated. Taro has cheated us. Where is Taro? Let us drown him in this waterfall." So now they are very angry and they say that Taro has given them a false information and now they want to drown him in this waterfall. But Taro had been wise. He was smart enough to slip behind. Slip means hiding behind a rock when he saw how things were going. He was nowhere to be found. And they could not find Taro because he was hiding and he knew that the villagers are angry. Muttering means when you're not speaking clearly, when you're speaking within your mouth. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. So since they could not find fake, they left the stream one by one. Taro came out from his hiding place, and now when every villager had left, Taro came out. Was it true? He wondered, because he was wondering why yesterday I filled it with fake and these people today are saying that it is water. Was the fake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. It was the same fine fake. So what you see here, children, is that when Taro was drinking from the stream, it was fake, and when the villagers, it was plain water, cold water. So what was happening? To the thoughtful here means caring son, because he was a caring son. He wanted to take care of his parents. The magic waterfall gave the delicious fake. So since he was caring, the magic waterfall gave him delicious fake, and to everyone else it gave only cold water. So here what we learn is that we should behave well with our parents. We should listen to our parents. We should take care of our parents because they have taken care of us since our childhood. So we have to be very caring and very thoughtful towards our parents and elders. Now moving to the last part of the story. The moral we already know, that if you do good work, you will get good in return. As you sow, so shall you reap. There's an old saying, "Jaisa boge, vaisa paoge." The story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. He sent for the young woodcutter. Now the Emperor of Japan came to hear this news and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. And the Japan was very impressed with Taro and for being so thoughtful towards his parents, taking care of his parents, that he gave him a reward of 20 pieces of gold. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro.